Welcome back to Chase Circle, where every story takes you a little adventure. Today, I'm going to share with you a story that's full of surprise and maybe even a lesson or two. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this journey together.
They already took her off the list, my mother said, like she was reading a receipt. I stood on her porch with Lily's overnight bag. Lily hid behind my hip. My mother didn't invite us in. She didn't even look at my child. She can't go back to that dance team, she added. It's for the best. I asked, what list? My sister Dana appeared in the hallway, arms folded. Don't start, she warned. Mom did what she had to do. Lily's fingers tightened on my coat sleeve. I said her name and she flinched. 7 days. I'd been gone 7 days. And now my daughter looked like she'd been erased. My mother's voice went colder. If you're going to make a scene, do it outside. The neighbors don't need this. That was the moment I realized. They were willing to let my kid lose, as long as the family looked fine. If you've ever been told to endure because you're strong, hit like so this reaches the right people. I didn't get to be strong that night. I had to stay calm. I didn't argue on the porch. I crouched and asked Lily, "Do you want to go home?" She nodded without lifting her eyes. My mother sighed. "Emily, stop dramatizing. We disciplined her. That's what family does." Disciplined her for what? I asked. Dana answered, like it was obvious. Mia's instrument went missing. Lily was the only one around. Mia, my aunt's daughter. 15, talented, praised at every gathering, the kid adults clapped for. Lily was 9 and still tucked her rabbit under her chin when she slept. I looked at Lily. Did you touch Mia's instrument? A tiny shake of her head. My mother leaned closer. Of course she denies it. That's why she needs consequences. Better she learns now than becomes a problem. I kept my voice flat. Did you check anything? Did you look for it? We don't interrogate family, my mother snapped. Then she softened fast. We protect family. And we protect Lily's future. My stomach tightened. That phrase was never about Lily. It was about control. I buckled Lily into my car. Dana followed, lowering her voice as if she was being kind. You left her with us, she said. Don't act like we betrayed you. I shut the door gently. Did you tell anyone else? Dana blinked once. We had to. Mia's recital is soon. The dance studio needed to know. And Lily's teacher. My fingers went numb on the door handle. You told her teacher. And Coach Aaron? Dana added. We didn't want rumors. We wanted the truth out first. Truth, said with confidence, always won in our family. I drove away before I said something irreversible. At the first red light, Lily whispered, Mom, I'm here. I didn't do it, she said, staring at her knees. I believe you, I replied, even though part of me wanted facts before feelings. But Lily's voice didn't sound like a liar. It sounded like a kid who had learned nobody cared what she said. At home, I made mac and cheese because it was easy. Lily took 3 bites and stopped. Usually, she would talk through dinner. That night, she sat like a guest. When I asked what happened, she shrugged, stiff. I waited until bedtime. I sat on the edge of her bed and let the silence stretch. Finally, she whispered, They said if I keep lying, you'll be disappointed in me. My chest tightened. Who said that? Grandma, Aunt Dana, Uncle Rob. Her eyes filled. They made me write, I will not steal 50 times. I kept my face steady. My hands shook under the blanket. Did they let you call me? I asked. She shook her head. Grandma took my phone. She said you were busy. She said I didn't deserve to bother you. I remembered every night I called and my mother said Lily was already asleep. Lily swallowed. Then Grandma went to school. I had to stand there while she told Mrs. Patel I was dishonest. Mrs. Patel looked at me like I was a stranger. And dance? I asked. Lily's mouth trembled. Coach Aaron said I couldn't be on the team because I'm not trustworthy. The other girls stopped sitting with me. They whisper. I stared at my daughter, trying not to show panic. Losing dance wasn't just losing a hobby. For Lily, it was losing the one place she felt like she belonged. There's more, Lily said, voice smaller. Mia was there when Grandma talked. Mia didn't say I did it, but Grandma kept talking, and Mia just nodded. Something about that felt wrong. Mia didn't sound confident. Mia sounded cornered. Did anyone ever find the instrument? I asked. Lily shook her head. Grandma said it's gone because I'm selfish. I kissed her forehead. You're safe here. Lily grabbed my wrist. Mom, they said nobody would believe me. Grandma said adults stick together. I swallowed hard. Then we'll make adults listen. After Lily fell asleep, I opened my laptop and searched my email. A message from the studio, dated 3 days ago. Subject: update regarding Lily's enrollment. I read it twice. Removed from the program pending accountability and restitution. Restitution. Like my 9-year-old had committed a crime. My mother hadn't just punished Lily. She'd created a record. A public stain. I sat in the dark kitchen and realized something else that didn't fit. If Mia's instrument was missing, why wasn't there a police report? Why wasn't Mia's family frantic? Because they didn't want the instrument back. They wanted the story. And the story was going to cost Lily more than dance. Before I tell you what I did first, tell me in the comments, would you confront the relatives who started the rumor, or go straight to the school to stop the damage? Part 2. I didn't call my mother the next morning. If I called, she'd steer the conversation into respect and tone, and I'd waste my energy proving I was a good daughter instead of being a good mother. I called the dance studio. Coach Aaron answered with the kind of careful voice people use when they think they're talking to a problem. This is Emily, I said. Lily's mom. A pause. Yes. Who told you Lily stole? I asked. The grandparents, Coach Aaron said. They said you were aware. They said the family confirmed it. I didn't confirm anything, I said. Did you speak to Lily? Did you ask for proof? Coach Aaron cleared her throat. Emily, we have to protect the group. Protect them from a 9-year-old, I said, keeping my voice controlled. I want a meeting today, with whoever approved removing her. Another pause. 4 o'clock. At drop-off, Lily hesitated in the car like the building might bite her. Go in, I told her. If anyone says anything, you go straight to Mrs. Patel and you ask her to call me. She nodded and walked in with her shoulders tight. In the parking lot, 2 moms stared, then looked away too fast. The rumor had legs. At lunch, I called Mrs. Patel. Emily, she said, already defensive. I know this is upsetting. Who came to you about Lily? I asked. Your mother, she admitted. She said there was an incident, and she didn't want it to spread. I let that hang. Spread where? Mrs. Patel hesitated. She said Lily had taken something valuable from a cousin. She said Lily was struggling since the divorce. My jaw clenched. The divorce. The favorite wound. They always used it to make me sound unstable. Did you write anything down? I asked. There are notes, she said. But the principal, I'm requesting them, I cut in. Today. When I hung up, I stared at the wall in my office break room and tried not to shake. My family hadn't just accused Lily. They'd built a story about me being incapable. That way, if I pushed back, I looked emotional. At 4, I brought Lily to the studio. She sat beside me, knees pulled in, eyes down. Coach Aaron led us into a small office with a director named Kayla. Kayla smiled like she was about to sell me something. Emily, she said, we only want what's best for Lily. I said, then you'll stop calling her a thief without proof. Kayla glanced at her clipboard. The grandparents said a violin went missing. They said Lily was the only one near the room where it was kept. A violin. Specific now. Clean now. I asked, did anyone report it missing to the police? Kayla blinked. No. It was handled within the family. Of course it was. Coach Aaron added, we were also told Lily has been lying a lot. Manipulative behaviors. I felt my stomach turn. That's not about a violin. That's about discrediting her. Kayla's smile tightened. Sometimes kids act out when their home life is unstable. We understand you're a single mother with work travel. Your mother said you've been overwhelmed. There was the new secret. My mother was selling a narrative that I couldn't parent, and she was doing it to professionals who would remember it. My voice stayed steady. My work trip was 1 week. Lily is not unstable. She was targeted. Kayla tapped her pen. We need accountability, an apology, restitution. Lily's shoulders lifted like she was bracing. I stood. You're asking my child to confess to something she denies, based on nothing. No, we're done. In the car, Lily whispered, They still think I'm bad. They think your grandparents sound confident, I said. Confidence is not proof. At home, I texted my mother one sentence. Is the violin still missing? She didn't answer. Instead, Dana called, voice tight. Mom says you're making this worse. She says you're going to ruin Lily's reputation. I laughed once, bitter. Her reputation is already ruined. By Mom. Dana lowered her voice like she was giving me advice. Emily, if Lily just admits it, this all goes away. She can be back on the team. People will move on. That was the manipulation. Guilt disguised as peace. I said, I'm not teaching my daughter that lying is the price of being accepted. Dana snapped, You always have to be right. I ended the call. That night, while Lily showered, I opened a drawer where I kept my late dad's papers. I rarely touched them. They felt like glass. In a folder, I found a page with my father's handwriting. Lily Education Fund Trust Docs filed with A. Morrison, a lawyer's name. I stared at it until my eyes burned. My father had never been careless with money. He wouldn't have hidden something from me unless someone pushed him to, and my mother always brushed off my questions about help for Lily's activities with, Your father handled it. Don't worry. That detail had always felt a little off. If you're wondering why I didn't just let it go, comment with one word. Why? Because what I found next made the violin look like a warm-up. I called Arthur Morrison's office and asked for the earliest appointment. An hour later, my mother finally texted back. Stop digging. This is family business. My blood went cold. Because if it was truly family business, she wouldn't be afraid of me seeing it. And suddenly, the accusation against Lily didn't feel like discipline. It felt like groundwork. Subscribe if you want the rest, because the next meeting wasn't about dance at all. It was about money that belonged to my daughter and why my mother was willing to sacrifice her to keep it. Part 3. Arthur Morrison's office smelled like lemon cleaner and old books. He looked at Lily first, then at me. I worked with your father for years, he said. I'm sorry. I didn't sit back. I found his note. About a trust. Arthur nodded and opened a folder. Your father created an education trust for Lily. Tuition, activities, development, and a larger distribution when she enters her teen years. Lily's eyes widened. Like, for college? Yes, Arthur said gently. And for things like dance. Why didn't I know this existed? I asked. Arthur hesitated. The trustees requested I not contact you. Trustees, I repeated, already knowing. He said it anyway. Your mother and father, co-trustees. I stared at the desk. So they've been controlling it this whole time. Arthur slid papers toward me. Statements, withdrawals, transfers with tidy labels, family support, advance, emergency. How much did they take? I asked. Arthur gave me a number that made my ears ring. Lily whispered, Grandma took my money? I turned to her. Grandpa set it aside for you. That's what this is. Arthur cleared his throat. They are allowed to reimburse themselves for expenses they claim benefited the family unit. The family unit? I said, tasting the phrase like poison, meaning whatever they feel like. He nodded, uncomfortable. There is also a morality clause. A morality clause, I repeated. Arthur pointed to a paragraph. If the beneficiary is deemed dishonest or engages in misconduct, the trustees may withhold distributions in Lily's best interest. My hands went cold. So the theft story wasn't just humiliation. It was a label. A paper excuse to keep access tight. To redirect money to the kids who deserve it. I forced my voice steady. They needed a record of Lily being dishonest. Arthur didn't argue. It would strengthen their position. Focus. What can I do? I asked. You can demand a full accounting, Arthur said. If they refuse, we petition the court. If they misused funds, they can be removed as trustees. And the school? I asked. The studio? They're repeating lies. If we establish the accusation was false, he said, we can demand corrections. But we need proof. Proof. On the way home, Lily was quiet, then asked, Is that why Grandma hates me? She doesn't hate you, I said. She thinks she owns you. That night, Dana texted, Mom says you're threatening the family. Please stop. Threatening the family, their favorite way to make me the villain. I didn't respond. Instead, I called my Aunt Carla Mia's mom. She answered with a cautious hello, like she'd already been warned. Carla, I said, is the violin still missing? A beat. It was found. My stomach dropped. When? Yesterday, she said too fast. It was in your mother's house. A closet. So Lily didn't take it, I said. Carla sighed. Emily, don't make this worse. Even if Lily didn't take it, she's been rude. Your mother says she has attitude. There it was again. A story that followed my kid like a shadow. Did you tell the school it was found? I asked. Carla went quiet. Then, we didn't want to embarrass anyone. Embarrass who? Not Lily. Adults. So Lily stays labeled, I said. Because admitting the truth would make your mom look wrong. Carla snapped. This is why your mother says you're impossible. You always make it a war. I ended the call. 10 minutes later, my mother called me. You went to Arthur, she said, voice clipped. You hid Lily's trust from me? I replied. My mother softened her tone, the one she used when she wanted to sound reasonable. Emily, that money is family money. Your father trusted us because you get emotional. We've helped where you couldn't. You've taken what belongs to my child, I said. Watch your mouth, she hissed. Do you want Lily to grow up without grandparents? Without support? Do you want to be the woman who tore the family apart? All the old buttons. I didn't press any of them. I ended the call. Later that night, Lily came into the kitchen holding my old tablet. Mia messaged me, she said, eyes wide. On the screen were frantic texts. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. They made me. My pulse spiked. Who made her? Lily swallowed. Grandma. I typed back from Lily's account. Can we talk? Not text. Mia called on video. Her face was blotchy like she'd been crying too. I'm sorry, she blurted. I thought I lost it. Grandma said if I didn't say it was Lily, everyone would be mad at me. Lily's lip trembled. So you blamed me? Mia nodded, crying. And then they found it, and Grandma said I had to stay quiet because it was already handled. She said it would confuse people if we changed the story, words that sounded like adults choosing damage. I kept my voice calm. Mia, did Grandma tell you what to say to the school? Mia sniffed. Yes. She wrote it down. And did she mention Lily's money? I asked. Mia's eyes darted off screen. I heard her talking. She said if Lily's dishonest, they can keep the trust for kids who deserve it. My skin went cold. Then Lily slid her phone closer to the tablet. A tiny red dot appeared. Recording. She looked at Mia and spoke carefully. Mia, did Grandma tell you to say I stole the violin? Mia whispered, yes. And did Grandma tell you not to correct it when it was found? Yes. And did she say it was for the family? Mia's voice broke. She said it was for the family and for my future. The call ended. Lily's hands shook, but she didn't drop the phone. She looked at me. Mom, is that proof? I held my daughter's face between my hands. It's truth you can play back. If you've ever had to collect evidence just to protect your own kid, hit like. Because that recording was the first time Lily's voice finally had weight. I emailed the audio to Arthur Morrison. Because once you threaten someone's control over money, they don't apologize. They escalate, and I knew my family's next move would be aimed straight at Lily. Part 4. The next morning, my mother showed up at Lily's school before I could. I didn't know that yet. I found out when Mrs. Patel called me at 9:12 a.m. and said, Emily, the grandparents are here again. Again? I asked, keeping my voice even. They asked to meet with the principal, she said. They're concerned about Lily's behavior and your instability. My vision tunneled. Put them on the phone. I can't, Mrs. Patel whispered. They're in the office. I drove there so fast I didn't remember the traffic lights. In the front office, I saw my mother sitting in a chair like she belonged there. My father sat beside her, hands folded. Dana stood behind them, the loyal witness. The principal, Mr. Holloway, looked relieved when I walked in, like he wanted the drama to belong to someone else. My mother smiled. Emily, we were just trying to help. By coming to my child's school without me? I asked. Mr. Holloway cleared his throat. Miss Carter, your parents expressed concerns about Lily's honesty and emotional regulation. They also mentioned a financial matter. My stomach dropped. Financial. They were spreading it. My mother's eyes stayed sweet. We're worried Lily is manipulating situations. We don't want her to lose opportunities. We're family. We're trying to guide her. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the desk. I have a recording from Mia stating you told her to blame Lily for the violin and to stay quiet when it was found. Silence. Dana's face tightened. My father stared at the floor. My mother didn't look shocked. She looked annoyed, like I'd brought the wrong paperwork to a meeting. Mr. Holloway blinked. A recording? I'll send it, I said, along with a formal request to correct Lily's file today. My mother's voice hardened, just a notch. Emily, this is disgusting. Dragging kids into adult problems. You dragged my kid into your adult problem, I replied. You used her. Mr. Holloway held up his hands. Let's slow down. We need to verify. You can verify with Mia's mother, I said. They already admitted the violin was found in my mother's house. They chose not to correct the rumor. My mother leaned forward. Because Lily still needs consequences. Even if she didn't take it, she needs to learn respect. There it was. Truth was optional. Obedience was the goal. I felt heat rise in my chest. I kept my voice low. You don't get to rewrite what she lived through. Mr. Holloway looked uncomfortable, but he was listening now. I emailed the audio file from my phone right there. Then I said, if you keep my daughter labeled as dishonest after receiving this, you're participating in it. My mother stood. Emily, you're making enemies for Lily. No, I said. You did. They left the office with their heads high, like victims. In the parking lot, my father finally looked at me. We were trying to keep things quiet. Quiet for who? I asked. Not Lily. He opened his mouth, then closed it. That afternoon, Arthur Morrison called. I received the audio. It's significant. What's next? I asked. We sent a demand for a full accounting, he said, and we petitioned to remove them as trustees. With that recording, the pattern looks intentional. Intentional. A word that made my hands shake. Arthur added, one more thing. The trust statements show payments to your sister Dana. My throat tightened. Dana doesn't have access. She does through your parents, Arthur said. Large transfers. Labeled support. New secret. Dana wasn't just defending Mom. She was benefiting. That evening, Dana showed up at my apartment. She didn't knock like normal. She pounded. Hard. When I opened the door, her eyes were red. How could you do this? Do what? I asked. Go to a lawyer, she spat. Record Mia. Threaten court. You're humiliating Mom. You're withdrawing Lily's money, I said. Dana froze. It's not Lily's money. It's family money. Grandpa wanted it to stay with the family. He named Lily, I said. Not you. Dana's voice dropped. Urgent. Emily, if you push this, Mom will cut you off forever. She'll tell everyone you're unstable. She'll say you're using Lily as a weapon. She already did, I said. Dana stepped closer. Then let her. Let it blow over. Lily can go back to dance if you stop. I can talk to Coach Aaron. I can make it normal again. There was the trade. My silence for my child's safety. I almost felt the old reflex make peace, take the blame, keep the family together. Then Lily walked into the hall, holding her rabbit, watching us with wide eyes. Dana's voice softened instantly. Hi, sweetheart. Lily didn't answer. I said, get out. Dana's face hardened. You're destroying everything. I kept the door open. Leave. After she left, Lily whispered, Aunt Dana hates me. She's mad she got caught, I said. The next day, Arthur sent the demand letter. My parents responded with a refusal and a threat. They would consider pursuing custody options if I kept creating instability. Custody. That was the off detail that made my stomach flip. My mother didn't want to punish me. She wanted leverage. Arthur's reply went out within hours. We were filing to remove them as trustees, and any harassment would be documented. A week later, the school emailed me a written correction. Lily's record would be amended, and staff were instructed not to discuss the allegation. The dance studio scheduled a meeting to review the situation. Small wins. But Lily still flinched when her phone buzzed. She still sat alone at lunch. At night, she asked, What if they take me from you? I held her tight. They can't, and they won't. But I didn't fully believe it until the court date was set. Because my mother wasn't done. She just hadn't played her loudest card yet. Before I tell you what happened in that courtroom, make a prediction in the comments. Do you think my mother fought for the money, or fought to keep control over Lily no matter the cost? Part 5. The courthouse wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no movie moment, just fluorescent lights, hard benches, and my mother wearing her concerned grandmother face like armor. Arthur sat beside me, calm. Lily stayed home with a friend's mom. I couldn't let her hear strangers debate her worth. My parents' attorney spoke first. He framed everything like a misunderstanding. The grandparents stepped in during a difficult time, he said. The mother travels for work. The child has exhibited troubling behavior. The grandparents acted to teach accountability and protect the child's future. Protect the child's future. The same phrase, over and over, used to justify stripping her of one. Arthur stood and laid out the accounting request, the withdrawals, the transfers to Dana, and the morality clause. Then he submitted the audio. My mother didn't flinch when it played. She stared straight ahead, lips pressed together, like she was listening to weather. Mia's voice filled the room. Grandma told me to blame Lily. Grandma told me not to correct it. Grandma said it was for the family. The judge paused the audio and looked at my mother. Mrs. Carter, did you instruct your granddaughter to accuse Lily? My mother spoke softly. I instructed her to tell the truth as she understood it. Children get confused. The judge's eyes narrowed. And when the violin was found in your home? My mother's tone stayed smooth. We believed discipline was still appropriate. Even if Lily didn't take it, she needs to learn respect. There it was. Her core belief said out loud. Truth was optional. Obedience was the goal. Arthur asked the judge to order a full accounting and remove my parents as trustees due to misuse and conflict of interest. My parents' attorney argued that the withdrawals were family expenses and that keeping the trust within the family honored my father's intent. Arthur calmly pointed to the trust document. The beneficiary is Lily. The intent is explicit. The judge asked one last question. Why was the mother not informed of this trust? My father finally spoke. His voice cracked a little. We didn't want Emily to waste it. Waste it. On Lily. I felt my hands curl into fists under the table. The judge took a short recess. When he returned, his ruling was simple and brutal. My parents were ordered to provide a full accounting. They were temporarily removed as trustees effective immediately. A neutral professional trustee would oversee repayment while the court reviewed the withdrawals. And until further notice, any distributions would require my approval as Lily's legal guardian. My mother's face stayed composed, but her jaw pulsed. Dana's shoulders slumped. My father looked like he'd aged 10 years in 1 hour. Outside the courtroom, my mother stepped toward me. You did this to punish us. I didn't raise my voice. I did this to protect Lily. She leaned closer, eyes hard. You're going to regret cutting off family. I met her gaze. Family doesn't destroy a child and call it love. Her smile vanished. For a second, I saw exactly who she was when the neighbors weren't watching. Then she turned and walked away, head high, like she was the one betrayed. Over the next month, Arthur's office received statements, receipts, messy attempts to justify what they'd taken. The court-appointed trustee flagged withdrawals that had nothing to do with Lily home renovations, vacations, Dana's car payment. Once that was on paper, the story changed fast. The school corrected Lily's record, and Mr. Holloway apologized directly. Coach Aaron called and asked Lily to come back. When Lily walked into the studio the first day, she held my hand too long, like she was afraid the floor would drop away. I stayed in the lobby and watched through the glass. A couple girls waved. It wasn't perfect, but it was human again. At home, Lily said, "Do they think I'm a thief still?" I knelt in front of her. Some people will always believe the first story they heard. That's on them. Your job is to know who you are. She looked down. Who am I? I took a breath. You're the kind of girl who told the truth even when it was hard. And you're the kind of girl who made sure the truth had proof. Her eyes watered. I was scared. I know, I said. Being brave isn't being loud. It's doing the right thing while your hands shake. 3 months later, the trustee confirmed repayment. The money my parents had pulled was returned to the trust with penalties. Dana had to repay transfers she'd received. My parents lost control permanently. The trust was restructured so no one could use morality as a weapon against a child again. I celebrated by taking Lily for a milkshake after dance. One evening, Lily asked, "Are we going to see Grandma again?" I chose my words carefully. Not for a long time. Maybe not ever. She nodded slowly. Then she said, "I miss the idea of her. Kids miss the fantasy. About 20% from the end. I need to ask you something, because this is where people always split. If you found out your own parents were willing to ruin your child's reputation to keep control of money, would you expose them and cut them off? Or would you stay quiet to keep family peace? Tell me in the comments. I still think about that question on nights when the apartment is too quiet." My mother sent one last message after the final order came through. I did what I thought was best. "You'll understand when Lily is older." I didn't reply. Because Lily is older now in the ways that matter. She understands who protected her and who asked her to shrink. The last time Lily saw a photo of my mother online, she studied it and said, "She looks nice." "She can look nice," I said. "Nice isn't the same as safe." Lily nodded like she was filing that away. That's how it ended for us. Not with revenge. With boundaries. With paperwork. With a little girl walking into dance class again, head up, knowing her name isn't attached to someone else's lie. And with me finally learning that being a good daughter is not my job. Being Lily's mother is.